Packet Tracer Activity 12.6.6 Configure IPv6 Addressing. In this activity, we'll be using IPv6 addressing rather than IP4 addressing to set up our network. We'll be configuring each of the devices here with global unicast addresses and link local addresses. So we have our addressing table with what we need to set up the devices with, and then we have the actual items that we need to set up. So the first one here is we need to enable routers to forward IPv6 packets. Let me go ahead and make this a little larger so we might be able to see a little better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to router 1. Open that up. And let's go ahead and enable the router. And we're going to do an IPv6. Well, let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh, that's right, I'm not in the configuration level. So let me pull that back up. So we'll do IPv6, and as normal, I like to look at things with the help command, and then we have unicast routing. So this is going to enable the router to use IPv6 packets as well as IPv4 packets. All right, so then we need to go to the interface. So we'll go to interface Z0/0. And we'll set up the IPv6 addresses. So we have to use the command IPv6 rather than just IP, the word address, and then the address of the IP or the IPv6 global unicast address, and that is 2001/DB8:1:1:1/64. Notice that I don't have to put a space between the address and the /64, which is the mask in this case. I also need to set up the link local address here. So same thing, IPv6 address, FEAD:1. And to identify this as link local, we have to use the word link local. All right, so then we'll turn on the interface. So at this point, we now have an IPv6 address associated with the G00 port. I'm going to go ahead and set up the other ports the same way. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video, and I'll be back when I'm done. Now that I've entered all the IPv6 addresses, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to verify this. So I'm going to do a do show IPv6 brief command. See what I did. Oh, forgot the word interface. All right, so here we have gigabit 00. We have the link local, and we have the global unicast address. We have the other gigabit Ethernet interface, and that looks correct. We don't have anything there. We have a serial interface, the link local, and we have the global unicast address. They all look correct. So our verification step there is done. Go ahead and set up the host addressing at this time. So we'll start with the servers. Now for some reason the accounting server does not have a link in this, so it's not going to be set up. So I'm just going to do the CAD itself. So as normal, we'll just use the interface IP configuration interface to do this. So we're going to do the CAD machine. So the CAD has an IPv6 of 2001:DB8:1:2:4. Now here we got to put the 64 over here. So let me make sure I did that right. 2001:DB8:1:2:4. I'm going to copy that just to make it easier. And notice that the link local address here has already been entered for us. And that's what we would like it to be set up. So let me go ahead and close that. As I said, I can't do the other accounting one. So then it wants us to do the clients. So let's see, sales and billing. Oops, how did I lose it? IP configuration, so this is sales. Once again, we'll go put the IPv4 address in, or 6 address in here, and this is going to be a 1:264. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause while I complete all of the IPv6 addressing. Okay, I've finished. Okay, I've completed entering the information. So let's go ahead and go back to the next step, which is the verification step. So we're going to go ahead and test, actually, not the verification. And I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do first step, which is open a server's web page. So here we're going to go to the sales. We're going to open the web page, the web browser here. And the first one is to go to the accounting website, which we know we can't get to. So we'll go to the other one, which is 2001 DB8 12:4. Press enter. Well, what should happen is the web page should just appear here. We've got a problem. So we're not able to see that web page. So we have a troubleshooting activity here to determine. So it timed out. So let's start from the sales and let's kind of work our way forward to see if we can figure out where the issue is. So the issue is most likely not with the switch. The switch will pass the packets no matter what. So let's go ahead and let's do a ping. Move to the top here. Let me ping the router itself. So I'm going to go to the router and let's do a ping 2001 DB8 11:1, and that's working. So we have appropriate path between the sales and the router. Let's go ahead and let's do the other interface on the router to make sure things are getting across it. So that would be the :2:1. Here we go. So here is a problem. So for some reason, the router is not allowing packets to transit across the interface. So we're going to go and see about looking into that next. So if you remember, when we're sending packets from one network to another, the device has to know the default gateway in order to send that to. So let's check that first. Let's just see if that may be our issue here. So let's go to our, look at that. I never put the default gateway in here. So let's go ahead and do that. So for the router, typically what you'll do for the default gateway, let me go back here, is you use the FE80::1. So we use the link local address in order to send to the router. So let me just copy this. And I'll go ahead and I'll put that in here, take the 1 off here. Now let me go ahead, I guess I did need to close that. And let me run the command again. There we go. So we were able to transit the router. So that was probably the problem all along. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fix all of these because I know I didn't put them in here either. I won't worry about that one. And our CAD workstation. All right, so let's go back to our sales. Let's go to the web browser here again, and let's type in our address for the CAD website. Colon 2 colon what was that? Colon 2 colon 4. There we go. So we got our CAD server's web page up and rolling. So we're knowing that packets are transiting between the sales and the CAD server. So let's go ahead and do our final test here. We're going to test outside of the router up to ISP. So let's close this and we're going to do a ping to there. So we're going to do a ping 2001 DB8 colon A001 colon 1. And we received the appropriate response. So setting up IPv6 addressing is a little more complicated. It is not as easy to be able to look at things and see the numbers as well and to understand it, but it is the place that we are moving towards. IPv4, though, is still being used quite heavily in industry, so you need to understand both. This ends this video.